I'm Janeta. Welcome to my channel. Recently, we traveled back to Poland, and let me tell you, it was quite an adventure. Here is the story of our 30-hour journey. The day of our flight was anything but calm. We still had errands to run before noon, and our son had an exam at school. As soon as he finished, we rushed home to start packing. We had barely packed any clothes, so we even managed to squeeze in some last-minute shopping after dinner. At 7:40 p.m. on January 10th, we left home in a taxi and arrived at the airport around 9 p.m. for our 11:10 p.m. flight. Unfortunately, the flight didn't take off until midnight. The first meal on the plane wasn't great. It was served at 1 a.m., which felt very late. Since the next meal wasn't scheduled for another 12 hours, we had no choice but to eat it. Thankfully, breakfast was better, especially the Chinese dish. The kids were also given crayons and coloring paper, which was a nice touch. Our flight was entirely during the night and lasted around 16 hours. I have trouble sleeping, especially while sitting, so spending so long in that position wasn't ideal for me. Luckily, there were some Korean movies available. I can't remember the last time I watched something non-Korean. Usually, it's dramas, not movies. But with no other choice, it was better than nothing. Our son, being small, was able to stretch his legs on me and sleep for a bit. Unfortunately, it didn't last long. After just 5 hours, he was wide awake again. Thankfully, there were many cartoons to choose from. We landed in Germany at 8 a.m., which was around 3 p.m. Taiwan time, though it was still before sunrise. We navigated the massive Frankfurt airport, taking the SkyTrain to our next terminal. Since there were still 2 hours left, our son decided to work on his homework. Fun fact, homework is now prohibited in Poland. But in Taiwan, as a first grader, he still had about 26 pages of math and Chinese to finish. We also had to take a bus across the airport to board the plane. Eventually, we departed about half an hour late. The layover gave us a chance to enjoy sunny weather, even though it was only 2 degrees Celsius. Actually, it felt warmer than in Taiwan, perhaps due to less wind and lower humidity. The atmosphere at the airport wasn't the friendliest. Security checks were much stricter than in Taiwan, and the tone felt less polite, but maybe I've just gotten used to Asian hospitality. As it turned out, we didn't have any extra checks or passport control in Poland, so perhaps that's why security was stricter here. We were asked about our return tickets and had to go through a body search. On the second flight, the kids were filled with another small gift, and we were served buns as a snack. My tip: choose the sweet buns. They are usually better. All 3 of us picked prune-filled buns, but I also grabbed a savory sauerkraut and mushroom bun since they were extras. My husband and son didn't like it, but I thought it was fine. We touched down in Poland close to 1 p.m., which meant it was 8 p.m. in Taiwan, making the journey 24 hours long at this point. By the time we collected our luggage, got a rental car, and walked to parking lot, which didn't feel very close. It was nearly dark. While in transit, I received messages from family in Poland about snow, something I hadn't expected. I had checked the weather forecast before flying, and there were no signs of a snowy winter. Driving on icy roads made me nervous, even though I wasn't the driver. At first, the roads weren't bad at all and had little to no snow, but as we got closer and closer, everything drastically changed. Driving through heavy snow and slippery roads was nerve-wracking. At some point, we couldn't see the road and missed a turn. After a 2-hour drive, we arrived at my father's house around 5 p.m. After a meal and petting a cat, we were ready to continue to our final destination, especially after hearing news of snow and ice warnings. We departed at 7 p.m., but the drive took twice as long as expected. Most of the time, we could only drive at 30 km an hour due to the conditions. Parts of the road were barely visible, especially in the countryside, where there are almost no lights along the way. Just a few kilometers into the drive, we saw a car that slid off the road, with some others parked nearby and another being towed away. Not the best thing to see. Slowly but surely, we made it to my aunt's house at 8 p.m., 3 a.m. Taiwan time on January 12th. After nearly 2 days of travel with no sleep, I finally crashed at midnight. Despite severe ear pain from the landings and waking up at 4 a.m., we felt surprisingly refreshed. Didn't take long to adjust to the Polish time zone. The snow was magical. The next morning, we were greeted with -6 degrees Celsius and enjoyed 2 days of winter fun before the weather warmed up. But more about that in my next video. That's all for today's video. Be sure to check out my other content and subscribe to my channel for more videos from Poland. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.